Hey, what's up, guys? Sam here, and I'll be doing the free video for Friday, May 26th, 2023. So, doing this one a little bit early before the market closes, but I don't really think too much is going to change here in the next 90 minutes. We have a run into the long weekend, and it is quite a large one. So, I would expect that we're going to close right around here, right around the 420 mark on SPY. This is going to be probably the quickest Friday video that I've ever put out on YouTube for you guys, but I don't think we need to overcomplicate it. I'm going to show you two charts, SPY and the QQQ, and I'm going to give you a handful of picks for next week. All right, so checking out the charts here with the folks in the premium room, we just went through and checked off to make sure the structures and the momentum is still good. And in terms of the structure, of course, you still have that on the daily, you still have it on the weekly. It's not as strong on the weekly, but it's as good as it's going to look. You do actually have a weekly squeeze that developed again, which is quite phenomenal. And you have the right combination of signals here. This one could be better, but it's just neutral. And when it's neutral, you do need thrust, and you've had thrust now since the beginning of April. Same thing here, right? You've had thrust all the way back here at the beginning of March, and the trend oscillator remains good. So this is a market that would imply to continue buying pullbacks to the daily 21. If you're very aggressive, I think you could buy them to the daily 8. And then the target here on the SPY is going to be 430. So 430 is kind of the big level here that I have in terms of whether this has more room to go or not. I think it can get to 430 pretty much by next week, basically. But above 430 is where it flips the polarity of the chart, and it actually becomes kind of a meaningful reversal pattern at that point. We could argue it's already doing it, but I don't like calling major reversals below 618. So I do think we can get to 430, and then 430 becomes the big battleground in terms of the next direction. But that's still, basically 10 points away on the SPY. So party on that one. And then we're going to look at the QQQ here as this loads. Normally with you guys, even with you guys here on the YouTubes, I will typically look at things like TNX, which is the interest rate, or HYG, or which are junk bonds, or something like even like RSP, which is the equal weight S&P 500. But I don't think that really helps you, not in this market, right? We've entered the phase of absolute mania, and I think if you start looking at all these correlations, they're pretty much broken at the moment, right? You have tech and interest rates. Interest rates going mini parabolic, while tech goes full parabolic. That's not common, right? It's not common to see interest rates rise and rise and rise for days and days and days, and then see mega cap tech stocks going up 5, 10, 15% in a week. So for now, keep in mind the stock market is not the economy. It is a sentiment machine, and right now the sentiment is wildly euphoric, probably the most euphoric I think I've ever seen it, given the overall other signals coming from interest rates, junk bonds, equal weight S&P, copper, things like that. So that should color the way that we look at markets, and let's just trade the charts that's in front of us, right? Let's say once the correlations come back, they always do, then we can worry about that. But for now, just understand that they're there, but just kind of keep them on a distant plane. So the Qs here are even stronger, right? You're taking out this swing high, and it kind of puts into focus kind of this zone here, somewhere between 350 to about 370. Let's just split the difference, call it 360 is kind of in target here. But really more so than a target, and I should have a 618 on this. I would advise that you run the 618 here to see where it is. I'm looking to see if there's any type of structural issues or momentum issues. And if there weren't any issues on the SPY, which is the weaker of the two, there's not going to be issues on the Qs. So I'll just kind of go through and check off the structure, because basically I'm going to put checks next to everything that is correct, X's next to anything that is incorrect, and I'll just put a dash next to anything that's neutral. So the structure gets a check, the squeeze gets a check, the trend oscillator gets a check, and the high-low pro gets a check. Over here, the structure gets a check, squeeze gets a check. The trend oscillator gets a nothing because that's just neutral. But then the high-low pro gives you a check. So there's 8 possible checks, and we have 7 out of 8, which are bullish. That's pretty good. That's pretty darn good. So full-on party like it's 1999 in the Qs. Let me throw a couple picks your way, just because, you know, in these videos I've been telling you guys, really just keep hammering what's been working. Don't get cute. Don't stray from what's been working. And if you followed that path, I think it's treated you well. Mega cap tech, mega cap tech, mega cap tech. Keep hitting it every day. They have to find a new one to push 2 to 5% higher. Today it's Amazon. Next on Tuesday it'll be Tesla. Then it'll go back to Microsoft and Google and Netflix and the rest. So you know the mega cap tech stocks, right? There's about 8 of them that you need to know, and that should be your primary focus every single day. But I'll add a couple of picks that came up in the room today. TTD, MDB, and Dash. And these are all from a scanner that we run, and then we went through and kind of picked off the best ones, and those 3 were the best ones. So again, it was Dash, TTD, and MDB. I didn't want to buy them today because the Nasdaq's going absolutely bonkers, and on any even minor pullback, it's a big way back down to just intraday support. But keep them on your list, and if the market comes in next week at all, ever, maybe by next year, those should be really good picks to have continuation. All right, guys. Well, I did say I was going to try to make this the shortest video. I don't know if I succeeded, but I think it's short and sweet and to the point in terms of what to expect into next week. SPY has a target of 430, and all of the structures look correct. Of course, keep an open mind as to any kind of shenanigans into the end of the month, but if we just go off the charts, this is one of the most phenomenal rallies you'll ever see, and the reason being is because of what's going on with interest rates in the background, right? It's not a rally that's coming from lower rates, it's a rally that's coming from higher rates. So that's just the thing could not be more firing on all cylinders. So be aware of all that stuff and trade accordingly. All right, guys, have a great Friday. Have a great long weekend. Leave us a like before you go somewhere else on the YouTube, and I'll see you guys next Friday. Cheers.
Hey traders, this is Sam with Simpler Trading. I want to thank you for watching today's video. Hopefully you found the information in it helpful. If you did, leave us a like, leave us a comment. It really does help us out with the algorithm. And if you want to see us trade live with our own real money and be part of the community, come and check us out at simplertrading.com.